What's up, everybody? Good to see ya. Let me get in here in the chat real quick. Happy, I guess it's Wednesday, right? Wednesday night? Thursday night? Thursday night. Thursday night. My days are all messed up because I've been working from home the last couple days with my truck getting repaired. There's you lovely people. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Good to see everybody. Sorry, I'm trying to get signed into a couple things here. Maya, one of them. And then trying to get signed into the chat too, so I can respond in here. This is a good playlist. Yes, it's me. Dual factor every time, man. Yes, it's me. Ford. Yep. Thank you. All right. Let me in there. Just want to chat. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's do this now. So, plan for tonight, we're just going to keep rolling with the hand model. Try to finish that up. We may move on to the... the rest of the torso and stuff. I'd also kind of like to just give you a visualization of what to look for with your out-of-class characters too, because we talked about that a little bit last week. So I just want to give you kind of an overview on that, let you know kind of what I'm expecting to see there, things that will help make you successful when you're picking certain concept arts to model from, right? I might even grab a concept and model one myself. And we may do a little bit of mixture of that too, kind of let you guys know tips and tricks with modeling characters, things like that. I'm just letting Maya sign me in here. Hopefully more of you jump in. Let's see. I got about, there we go. There's some more people are jumping in. So good. Maya 2023 takes forever to boot, but it boots straight to the menu, which is nice. So okay, here is our hand, which is good. This is, yeah, where we should be with the hand. Okay. Cool. Very good. Okay, nice. We have it where we want it. Awesome. Okay. So that's working. Anybody having any trouble so far with the hand? If you need help from the TA or myself, make sure you're reaching out. Okay. Let's jump to our live scene. File got corrupted from last week. Is that what we're going to turn in today? Yes. For your weekly turn in, we're going to try to turn in, you know, where the hand is at the point at the end of the stream, right? So wherever we get to, I'm going to fix this camera a little bit here. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, wherever we get to by the end of the stream is what the goal would be for me, right? So if your file got corrupted, a couple things that we can take a look at to help circumvent that process for next time. The biggest one is doing a delete all by type history, right? Before you save, every time, anytime you're going to save a new file type, do a delete all by type history, right? Dylan as well, if you want to shoot me how badly it's corrupted, you can. I could also send you, you know, a file that it maybe is a little less complete to help try to speed up the process since it did break on you, but we can work through that. Okay. So this is where we got to last week with the hand. I may have done a little bit more, like we posed the fingers a little bit, but I can show you guys how to do that pretty easily. So if you want to, I think I had it in the right position, but I may have bent these a little more. This is a different file that I grabbed because the one I had in the classroom I left there on accident, but I have so many of them saved, done this so many times that I have a million of these. So this is pretty close to where we were at. It won't even load up. Do you want to shoot me the error it's giving you and we could take a look at it? There's a chance. I don't know. That's frustrating. Yeah, I know you're not. I'm glad you're not opposed to remaking it. What I can do is send you like a finger so that you don't have to redo the finger. You can just quickly go back to the hand and get there. Today we're going to go through and really kind of wrap the rest of this hand up, right? But what I wanted to do first was talk about your out of class project. So if we go to ArtStation, okay, if this is where I would first start out, right? Looking for character concepts. Just on the front page, right? You can already see a bunch of cool stuff, right? But what I would look for and search for specifically in here, like this is super cool, is 2D character concept. And then you'd look in here and you can also change it to medium. So you can go digital 2D here. You could even just type in character concepts right here like this. Okay. Small part of you that thinks you left it in the classroom. Oh, okay. You do have the fingers. You're gonna have to put them back together. Okay, just let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Like, I don't want you to, like, sucks to have your stuff crash. So let me know if you need a little bit of assistance to get back to where you were. I'm not opposed to sending you a file to help kind of jumpstart that a little bit, but let me know. We won't go through too much more of the hand, but yeah. Stream audio bad right now? Says it's doing okay. And I'm not using the bad camera. So hopefully it's okay. It could be that my music is a little loud. I can turn that down. And I can turn up my mic a little bit here to help that. Can you turn it in tomorrow? Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah, no problem with that at all. Okay, so let's talk kind of what we're looking for when we're going to jump into searching for character concepts, right? So the thing I don't want you to do is find a 3D character that's just still images of a 3D character, right? I want you to find a piece of 2D concept art. And again, I want you to try to keep them simpler, right? Because, I mean, I didn't really give you a specific game to work from. But remember, you have limited experience and limited time to work on these things. So the simpler the character, the better. Okay. And the things we want to look for are good quality images, right? That give us a functional view of the entire character too, right? Because as the 3D artist, we don't want to have to spend a lot of time doing a bunch of guesswork, right? I mean, there is some artistic liberty that you can take as a 3D artist, transitioning 2D images into 3D art, right? There are some things that you're going to have to kind of make up yourself because 2D doesn't always translate the best to 3D. But with that being said, we want to make sure we find some functional images. Like, I wouldn't want to do a full body character from this image, right? I guess this image is okay. From this image, I wouldn't want to have to do a full character, right? This is tough to work with. I'd rather have something closer to this, but then I only have one view here, right? I don't get a lot of views of what the back's supposed to look like. Is this a hoodie or a puffy coat, right? I don't know. What does the back of the pants look like? I can kind of guess because they're cargo-y pants, but is there like a backpack battery thing that this is attached to? I don't know, you know. So there's a lot of things here that are happening that I don't necessarily want to have to interpret unless I really have to, right? Especially on a limited time frame. I want something that's going to feed me the information I need to rapidly finish the character in a, you know, reasonable time frame, right? Because we have that limited time frame. So something like this is pretty good, right? This gives you a pretty good view of what this character is supposed to look like. This is pretty cute too. I like the design here. It gives you a lot of kind of angles of them, which is cool. Granted, you know, you don't have a ton of views of each of them, but you can kind of gauge what this character is. There's lots of things here to help you see what he's supposed to look like. right? So they give you these shape things too, which really help. So I think something like this would be fairly reasonable to work from. You know, scrolling through here, you can kind of focus in this search too if you'd like. Like you could go stylized if you want things that are a little more stylized and less realistic, right? Because we're on a shorter time frame. So if you want things a little more simple, something like this would be good, right? You've got front and back there, fairly simple character design. I don't necessarily love this character, but something that gives you front and back to work from. Side views are nice too if you can get them. Sorry, I'm yawning over here. Let's see. Just scrolling through some more of ArtStation here. And it doesn't have to come from ArtStation. It could come from, you know, another source. But, like this is pretty good. I mean, they give you a front and side. Don't necessarily love this design, but front and side is good. Front, side, and back. You know, that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. Okay. So, like I said, doesn't have to come from ArtStation, but you could do a similar search on Google Images and see what pulls up. Like, you could also search like character turn sheets. That's another good way to find it. Like, you go stylized character turn sheet. And then you can find some good stuff here that gives you like a full turn sheet, which is great. Like this is perfect. This gives you a full turn sheet of what this character is supposed to look like from every angle. This is really good. Like this would be something that you could take for the class and do this right here. Simple, fairly reasonable. He's got some complicated stuff with the jacket and things, but that's a fairly reasonable character. That turn sheet's super helpful. Gives you all the angles of the character. Really good stuff. Something like this is pretty good too, right? It gives you all the different angles. I kind of like the cartoony rubber hose style of the character. There's some interpretation you have to do because there's not a lot of detail in the face. So when you translate that to 3D, how's that going to look? Something like this is good too. I really like the stylized nature of this guy. Pretty cool. So those things are good. This feels a little weird. It is stylized though. Something like this is fairly decent. I mean, it's not really a character. This is pretty good too. This is Moon Knight is what it looks like. You know, something that can give you these full turnarounds is good. Okay. Remember, we're building full characters, so it's not just a blank model that you're gonna do. You're not building something like this. It's got to be a full character. Okay. So they have to have some sort of accessories or clothing or something that makes them a character, not just a blank canvas. This is super cool. I really like this design. There's some liberty you'd have to take here because you don't necessarily know what's under the cloak. But this is super cool. Really like the stylized nature of that. You know, jumping into Pinterest too is good. Pinterest has a lot of stuff. This is very cute. I like the design of this too. So you can find some good designs here on Pinterest as well. That's why I want you guys to have some time to run through these and pick them, because I want you to be able to come back to me and show me what you want to do, and then I can approve it. Right? So keep them simple. There's a ton of good ones here that I'm seeing. This is super cool. Maybe. Does this have a turn sheet? That doesn't necessarily have a turn sheet, but that's very cool. I'm going to save that for later. Okay. Yeah, there's some really good stuff here. So questions as far as what you're looking for when you're looking for your stylized character stuff. I really like these little robots too. This is pretty cool. I don't mind if they're non-humanoid too, like, but we're modeling humans, so it might be a little more easy, a little more helpful for you to do a human. This just looks really good. Just trying to give you an idea of what you should be looking for, right? Some really cool concepts that I'm seeing through here. I really like this too. If that gave you a turn sheet of this character, this one's really good. I really like the look of that. All these are really cool. Oh, I love this one. Yeah, no, you can attempt to go a little above and beyond. I just lean more towards this stylized stuff because of the time frame. But if you feel like you can go a little more realistic, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind if you do something like that. Like a Fate Grand Order character. That's fine. The anime stuff can get a little boring in my opinion, but yeah, the watermelon hair was great there. I really liked that. But if that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna put a limit on it. I do want to see what you guys are gonna do though, so bring it to me for approval, and then we'll roll through it. I love this kid, this design, and I love. Is this Miguel? Yeah, I've seen this guy's stuff a bunch. This is super cool. I like this guy too, and this. Yeah, I don't mind if it's a Fate character. Yeah, just show me what you're gonna do. This is cool. I really like this. Do they give you the turnaround for him? See, this is what I would be looking for. Like, this is super cool, but like at the same time, I want a turnaround for him. This is great. This is super good too. I love this. This reminds me of Sid from Final Fantasy. Yeah, I love this. This is great. I'm going to save that one too. Okay. This little fox guy is cool too. This is very Nickelodeon. Lots of goods. You could scroll through Pinterest for, you know, you sit down for 45 minutes and find something for sure pretty easily. This is a cool design. And I'm just leaning into these more stylized characters, just like I said, because of the time frame. This is cool. Pretty simple, but very cool. Gotta love the big sword, big hair characters. Those are cool. Doing our best to keep it simple. Like these bird swordsman guys. These are cool too. Yeah, so if you have any questions on what would fly for the out of class assignment, like hopefully this is giving you an idea, right? It's a very cool design too. Very simple. This could be doable, I think. cool song. Oh, I really like this design too. It's an onion as a character. This is cool. I really like this. Okay. I don't want to dwell too long on this, but just like I said, trying to give you an idea of what we're looking for here. Any questions? Wow, those are great shorts there. This feels like Final Fantasy Tactics to me. The deeper and deeper you get into Pinterest, the weirder and weirder things you start to see, though. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Lots of cool concepts. Yeah, I think you guys should, between ArtStation, between Pinterest and Google image search, pretty easy to find something to work through. God, I love this. This is super cool too. I love the big chonky like shapes in characters like this. I really like that. This is cool too. Okay, does this have a... I'm gonna save that. Okay. Okay, I'm skipping that song. It was annoying. Okay. Yeah, okay. Lots of cool stuff. I think we've kind of wore this out. I've done this character before. I did this character as a final project for one of my classes when I was in undergrad. Very fun character. I don't know if he has a turn sheet or not, but cool character design. Love this design. Okay. Any questions? Throw them in there. Let's see them if you've got them. If not, we'll jump into modeling for a little bit. Okay? Turn the music down a little bit. Okay, so let's jump into the rest of the hand here. And what we need to do is just finalize some of the shapes here. Make sure that everything looks good, right? We have the wrist that attaches to the hand. I think what I did here was I had it something like this, and then I just extruded that edge out to give us another piece of geometry to go towards the wrist. So something like this, right? So now we have, you know, something that can go back towards the wrist. And your wrist isn't a perfect circle, but maybe we flare this out a little bit. Flare this up a little bit. And we might even accentuate some of the things around here just to help kind of shape that out. Same thing here. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, so with the fingers, we had them all kind of splayed and turned properly. And then all I did after the fact was I went and grabbed the fingers like this. Turned down soft select pretty heavily. But I would grab them from the joint, right? Where it was at. And then I would rotate from the joint to really bend them kind of into shape. So if I wanted to pose this finger kind of bent really far down, right? I can do so like this. So that's kind of really bent now, right? It's bent a little weird because it's not bent right on that knuckle. But that's how I kind of went through and tilted them all down for the most part. And I only did it a little bit on a few of them, right? And you could do it from the tip of the finger like this. I don't know what else I have moving here. Nothing. So now that it's, we move this down and into the joint there, rotate that so it's kind of lined up with the bone inside of the finger. Then we hit rotate on that and we can kind of bend that joint there, right? Move it where it needs to go. So if you want to bend your fingers a little bit more, that's how you go about doing it. Granted, the way that we had it kind of already at the end of last week was something like this, right? All I did was kind of bend those fingers from this position to this position by doing that. And then I adjusted the shape of the hand quite a bit by pushing and pulling vertices around on the palm. So moving those verts around to make sure that I've got a good shape when I'm in smooth mode, right? I've got the lines I'm looking for on the bottom of the hand. Maybe some of them could be a little bit more pronounced. You know, if I needed to, I could potentially throw another edge loop through somewhere. I'm not going to do that right now, but I can move some of these vertices around to help push and sell the overall shape of the hand, which feels fairly good right now. I could also take, you know, all of the fingers here from here. Try to select all of this through here. I'd need to make sure I have all of these verts selected. And then I could do something similar. Like if you still feel like your hand position feels a little weird, you can go through these types of things. So now if I bent the whole hand from here, right? That might make it help it feel a little more natural, right? Because you can kind of flex your hand from all those knuckles at the same point, right? So if I kind of bend this here, you know, pull this back in to kind of crease the hand a little bit more along that line, you could do so. So it's a lot of that shaping type of stuff that needs to be done. The other thing here that could feel a little strange on some of your hands is the webbing in between the fingers, right? So there's something we can do. We could take all of these verts in between the hands here, and we could really pull these up and forward to kind of help with that shape a little bit more. We adjust the webbing in between the fingers. And then when you hit 3, then it helps that feel a little bit better. We could even pull these verts back up too to help with that. if we want to push that webbing in between the fingers and how that feels, which is starting to feel a little bit better there now. Something still feels a little off with my thumb, so I think I'm going to take my whole thumb here, if I can get it all selected. I'm just going to tab select here. I'm just going to try to roll this thumb over a little bit more. Turn on soft select. I'm just going to try to roll this over a little bit more. Get it down a little bit. Still feeling a little weird in its current position. That feels better to me now. So now I'm just going to adjust some of these verts back. Yeah, that feels better. Yeah, that feels a little bit better to me. Okay. So the last kind of few steps here on the hand, once we have it to this point, right? One is just continuing to finalize that overall shape until it feels good to you, right? Because it could be a little bit of a battle to get this shape to feel right. And it could take a little bit of time to push and pull these vertices to the right places. And then, you know, adjusting all of the vertices on the top of the hand to feel good, right? Remember, you have those tendons that kind of go back on your fingers.
I've been given these icky orders to destroy you.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to change my playlist here. I like this one better. Okay. Yeah, that's a better one. So just adjusting these edge loops through here. Again, we talked about using the quad draw tool a little bit. And on some of the computers in the lab, it was being weird, but try it from home too and see if this one works. I'm on Revit 23, or not Revit, Maya 23 here. When you hit the quad draw that's in your modeling toolkit right here, you can hold shift, and what you'll see is it just kind of relaxes the vertices there for you. It's not always necessary, but when you're trying to get things to kind of smooth out in areas, it can be helpful to kind of respace your edge flow and make things feel good. Okay, cool. So I'm just trying to kind of put this edge flow in a manner that makes sense, right, on this hand. So then if I hit 3, it looks clean, makes sense. That looks pretty good. This knuckle feels really big right here, so I might calm this down a little bit. feels better now. Okay. This right here feels a little weird, so let's fix this up a little bit. Yeah, see, that feels weird right there. You can work a little bit in smooth mode too if you need to, like if you want to adjust kind of the overall feel of what's happening here. Like, I wouldn't go too crazy in smooth mode, because when you're working in smooth mode, it's usually a much more drastic move in your unsmoothed version of your mesh. But sometimes it helps to just be able to adjust things a little bit in this mode. And then you go back and adjust it in the overall view too. Looks like my thumb knuckle got deleted here, so I'm going to adjust this too. Extrude. Definitely want the knuckle on the thumb. Display harden edge. Okay, cool. All right. So that feels pretty good now. And then the final kind of thing that's going to happen here with this hand is we need to prep the area of the hand to make sure we have enough edge loops here on the back of the wrist, right? We talked about having the edges lined up here on the fingers when we were going to attach them to the hand, right? So we talked about doing that. And in order to do that, we need to reduce some of the geometry on the hand to make sure that it will line up with the rest of the hand. So there's some ways we can go about doing this, and there's some things that we can do to be effective here. And I'm going to show you some geometry reduction tricks here. Here, let's see, quad, polygon, topology. There was an image that showed it pretty easily. Here we go. Oh, this is Brian's stuff. Brian works for the U. This is a great image right here. So this shows you how to drop certain polygon limits to less of a polygon limit here. So I'm going to grab this image and I'm going to drop it in our Discord here. This is good. This is how you reduce topology right here. So throw this up over here. And we need to reduce some of the topology on the hand so that we can get this down to, I'd like it to be roughly 8 polygons. 12 is kind of where I'd like to limit it, right? So if we can drop from 26 to 12, that would be the ideal. We could have a 12-sided polygon. 8 would be ideal, but it's hard to drop to 8 from 26, right? But there's some easy things that we can do to drop this topology. One is we can collapse some edges here on each one of the fingers. So if we just collapse here, here, and collapse back up on the fingers, here and here, and then here, 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 and here, and then on the pinky, we can go here, 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 and here. So on the top of the hand, we can kind of collapse some of these edges. So I'll show you how to do that. So shift right click and then merge collapse edges and collapse edge. And you'll see that kind of triangles off these, right? Which we're doing a 3 to a 2, which is kind of what you saw on Brian's image there. There's other ways we could go about doing it as well, where we create a little bit cleaner topology by looping off these things, right? But it kind of makes a mess of things a little bit, but it's not terrible. Like we'd go like this here, and then we'd delete out these edges from here, and then we'd wrap an edge loop around this object, which is not horrible. But we may try to do that more on the underside of the hand. For now, I'm going to do this collapsing. So you can see I've selected these edges here, kind of on the line of each finger on the hand, right? And then shift, merge, collapse edges, collapse edge. So now that brings us down to 18 edges. So now we just need to reduce a little bit more here. And I think I want to reduce one here if I can. So I'm going to collapse this, 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 and this, but I don't know. It's tough. I'd like to go kind of every other one, right? So instead of here, we'd collapse like this right here. It does create kind of a weird shape here, which I don't love. And it creates like a 5-sided polygon, which is not great. So I might skip that one there. We'll see. A lot of these aren't great. So if we can, I don't know. There's a few ways to go about doing this, and I wrestle with it every time, because I'd like it to be clean quad polygons without these triangles all over the back of the hand, which means we end up doing some funky stuff here to get this to work. Like we do a lot of this type of stuff where we'd grab here and go from 5 to 3, which would be something like this. Where we cut in here. And you delete this edge, delete this edge. And then you wrap an edge loop around here like this. And that creates your quads again, right? But that really doesn't save us much geometry there. It only saves us 2 edges there. So we're going to do it this way for now. And then we'll do some tricks on the bottom to help us kind of collapse it and make it look better. Sorry, these two. So merge collapse and then collapse edge. So that's fine for right now. It doesn't really destroy the look of the hand, right? Too badly. Because we do need to drop down to a lower kind of poly count here. So then on the bottom side, we are going to do a little bit of trickery here. So we're going to do a couple loops here to make this function properly. Same thing that we did up top. But now we're going to take these edge loops and delete them out from below. So we kind of cut a diagonal here on the palm going in, right? Then you can delete anything underneath that edge that you created. So you go delete edge here, delete edge here. And then you can wrap that in a loop, which ultimately ends up being okay because it terminates on these, which are quads. It's just not the prettiest looking, but it's fine for right now. And it does save us some loops. And it doesn't look terrible when you smooth it either. It looks okay. Then there's a couple more we could do. We could go here on this side. Which I don't love how that looks. If we just collapse it here and here maybe. Or even here. That's 14. But that's really ugly and I don't like how that looks. I mean, the other way we go about doing it is doing something like this. And then we wrap one more around this wrist right here, like this. Just still 14 though. So we didn't really save anything there. Okay. 16. Oh, I guess we're at 16. So we do need to do something here. And I'm okay with this loop. I just need to take some things out here. But I don't, you know, some of these I don't love exactly what it's doing to the shape, but it's okay. Like that actually gives us some shape to the hand there, which isn't horrible. And I don't love the look of this. I don't know. Maybe we... That creates kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't love that. Let's space this out a little bit. And if we need to shrink these back together, we can. Okay, still 14, still 16, right? Let's go here like this, and here like this. Because then I can wrap one more edge loop. I guess I can't there. Just creates a triangle on the hand right there. That's a 14 now. Wonder if I just do something here. Yeah, I don't love that either. Let's check something out here. I'm going to undo this for a second here. Let's pull in. I'm trying to remember how I did it the last time. So let's pull something in here. Let's go here. Sorry, you get live problem solving sometimes here, which is okay. It's good. I want to make sure this works well, so human model. Let's bring in this one here. There's our character. How did we handle it here? Okay, we did what we did there. Collapse those. I guess we kind of collapsed it on the wrist too a little bit. Which turned out okay. I don't love exactly how that looks, but that's fine. We did drop it to a 12-sided. Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's get rid of this for now. Okay, we can delete all this stuff. So we handled it by doing it kind of how I did in the other spot where I collapsed this edge too. Just don't love what that's doing there, but let's see here. Or 16 here. Let's do this really quick. Something weird is happening here. Hello. Nice to see you. Just modeling a hand right now. That's too far. That's too early. It's a little bit further. Okay, how did we handle it here? My finger's messed up there. I like how I handled it better here. That's a lot cleaner. So we put a loop here first, and then we did a bigger one here. Okay. Okay. And how did we handle the sides? It's just a much cleaner loop. And you see on this one, I did extrude on the bottom to make the pads on the hand. The finger's a little chonkier, hand's a little wider, which I don't know if I love, but I like how I handled that. So let's replicate that a little bit. I'm gonna pull this over to the side. Delete everything else out of here though, because we don't need it. So here's our hand. Let's turn the grid back on. This can come back here. I just want to look at how we handled. I like how we handled the polygon reduction here. So let's try to replicate this because it's a lot cleaner. I don't mind the triangles on the top. It's fine. But I do like this way better on the bottom of the palm here. So we are going to delete the wrist out for right now. Delete the wrist out. I did adjust some things here that I might readjust. So let's turn 3 on. Let's go to edge mode. Let's just adjust that a little bit. We did talk about adjusting some of these webbings a little bit. Cool. Okay, that's fine. This is a little harsh. This is fine. Okay. So that's good. So top of the hand is still going to be the same thing, right? We reduced it that way, and it's not a horrible way to do it. It's fine. It's going to work. So let's do that. So let's go here, 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 and here. Nope, wrong ones. There, there, there. There, 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 there. Right here, right here, right here, and here. Then we'll do the shift right click, merge collapse, collapse edge. So that's going to kind of pull everything in like this, which is okay for now. Might take a little bit of readjustment on some areas, but that is fine for right now. Because that really cleans up the top of the hand. And then what we did with the bottom of the hand is a little bit different. So it looks like we ran from here and then we cut over and deleted everything out from underneath. So I went like this at first, and then everything. No, I did it from the outside in here. Yes, because then I can go like this. And cut in between here. Yeah. So you don't delete anything out there, but we're able to cut in between here. Right? And kind of create this shape, which is fine. Except for that doesn't make sense. Why did that not? That needs to go to here instead. All right, because that's kind of what we did there. We had those 3 polygons in the center there. Yep. And then everything below that I can delete out, which is good. Then I just have to adjust this a little bit. Sorry, people knocking on my door. Okay, so we've done that, and then we can do the same thing, because that did a really good job of cleaning that up for us. Now we have 16 there, which is good. Now we should be able to delete out a good chunk of edges as well. So we have that one running through here, and then we can do another one. Looks like I did another one through here. So if you go like this, kind of like that, which is fine. So there's this here. So we'll cut here to here, because again, anything on the underside of the angle we can delete out. So we go like this, we can delete those, and then we just run an edge loop in between those like this. Sorry, in between the 2 edges of the triangle. So we go here and here. Then we can go like this and run those, and then we have another kind of edge loop in there. This is creating a little bit of weirdness here, but we can always run through with the smooth tool, kind of clean it up. And then the last one that we can do is we could pull this up like this in here, and then we can bridge these 2 edges together like that, and then we end up with a clean 12-sided polygon, which is good. Okay. So that's how we'll handle that. And you can watch that back as many times as you want. It's a little complicated. You run those 2 angled edges, delete everything underneath them. The last one, you pull up that final polygon. The crappy thing with this is that it kind of creates a weird polygon to work with, because now we don't have, and I guess we kind of do. There's 5 there. And 7 there. So we really don't get a nice even split between there. So maybe we take a second look at this here, because we're at 14. There's somewhere else we could do this, because if I go from here to here, that's 6. I go from here to here, that's 8. So maybe we try to do that somewhere else around here. side of the hand or something. I just want it to line up a little better. So if we bridge these, what does that look like? Six and 6. Yeah, let's do that instead. Let's pull it up over there, because then this isn't too bad to deal with. We just extrude this out now. Although I guess it does. The one problem that gives us is that weird squared off side there. It's not great. Wherever we end up doing it is not great. So let's see. We could technically use a 14-sided. I just don't love 14-sided cylinders. What if I just... This is a fun battle right here, which is why I knew this was going to take a little bit to get this sorted out. I'm going to quad draw this a little bit and kind of see if I can get this to chill out a little bit through here. And then we can focus in a little bit better on it. So this is technically the center line of our hand right here. It's lining up kind of here. So if we go like this, that's 6 and that's 8. So I really want to get rid of 2 over here somewhere. So maybe I just find somewhere that I can collapse one edge. And maybe it's like right there. And I just run a triangle right there on the edge of the hand. Or I go like this. That seems better to me right there. Okay. We'll run it like that instead. So I cut down from here, and ran an edge loop right here around the edge of the wrist, which is fine. Because then I can go here, extrude this out for the wrist. And then I can do a circularize on this. So if we go edit mesh, circularize, then we can make sure stuff looks okay there. And rotate it a little bit, you know. That is going to line up a little weird with the arm, but it's going to be okay. We'll clean it up and make it look good. If we have to kind of adjust how that feels on there, we'll make it work. Because there's more vertices on the bottom than there are the top. So we'll have a little bit of a challenge there to make it feel good. But that's okay. That's down to the 12 edge loops that we wanted. It's a little weird how we got it there, but that's okay. When we have that strict limit there to get down to 12, I mean, I guess we could go with 16. Let's see what a 16-sided cylinder looks like really quickly. I'd be okay with that, but yeah, we could go 16-sided cylinder. Maybe that's what we do. Because this hand just, I don't love exactly how this is working out. So let's see. Maybe we just leave it at a 16-sided cylinder on the wrist. Because that's not the end of the world. It just is more geometry to work with. If we jump back a little bit here, what is it right here? It's 14. I have infinite undo as well, I think. So let's see. Before we started doing all this mess. We dropped it down right there. What was it right here before I deleted that out? That's a 16-sided. Let's leave it at 16. Let's leave it at 16. This is cleaner. This will give us plenty of stuff to work with. Let's quad draw this and kind of even this out a little bit. We'll go with 16. I'm okay with it for right now. Let's just say it's a 16-sided. And if we need to really drop it down, we'll drop it down at the wrist instead. We're just destroying the total shape of the hand, and I don't want to do that. So it's just a higher poly count character overall, which is not the end of the world. I'm not that upset about it, so. I think I did something to this thumb too, because it just feels weird. Pretty sure before I restarted my whole thought process, I shifted this down a little bit. And rolled it a little bit. Yeah, okay. Sorry for all the confusion there. I think ultimately we're going to have a better time modeling if we keep it at a 16-sided cylinder. We'll extrude this here. We'll just keep it at a 16-sided. There's more geometry around the wrist at the bottom than there is at the top, but it'll be fine. If we really need to reduce it down, we can. But I think 16-sided cylinder will be fine. Okay. Let's leave it there for now. As far as the hand goes, this is pretty well done now that we've reduced all that geometry and topology. So if you can get your hand to this point, next week we'll start the torso. So have your stuff ready for next week. I think on the canvas it shows. Let me double check here on the canvas. Checking our canvas page really quick here. Assignments. Yeah, so next week you'll need to have, yeah, perfect. So next week you'll have your human reference set up. So what you need to do is get 2 images into Maya of the character you're going to do. So for me, I think I'm going to do that human again. So if I go, let's run through that really fast, and then I'll let you guys go for the night. Okay, let you guys go an hour early. So let's go to my files here. What I'm going to do is grab my image reference. I'm going to grab my male reference. I have a better one that I like. Let's see. Female one's good. I like this reference. Very believable proportions. Let's see here. This one is okay. I kind of like this one better because it gives you the contours and stuff. But I'm going to do the male. And I've done the Loomis one a ton of times. Let's grab a little bit more. I did this one previously because I liked the proportions. Very kind of cartoony. I'm going to grab one that's a little more, let's see, male T-pose. Trying to find a good image here. This is very, very buff. Let's see. I mean, we could do the Loomis one. It's not that bad. What's this? It's a very buff chick. Let's see. I want to get something that's still humanoid, like, and more realistic, because you're doing the stylized thing for out of class, so I want to do a little more real. I mean, granted, some of these are like superhuman levels of ripped. This one's not bad. Actually kind of like this one. Oh, there's way more here now. What does the Loomis one look like on here? This one has him in A pose, which is okay. A pose is fine. I just would rather model in T pose, but A pose is fine too. I just kind of like the comic booky style, but like I said, I want something to be fairly real, not the Hulk. I do want a pose. One has all the muscle groups on it. Let's go back. We can just use the Loomis one. It's fine. I just don't love the proportions. This one's fine too. I'm being picky right now. I'm being very picky. I saw one that I liked, and I kind of want to just do that one. I mean, I've done this one in the past. This one is very buff. But I want it to have front and back. Which that one did have. But now I seem to have lost it. This one. Yeah, I'm a little nervous of... Let's see here. It's funny because I see tons of them. I'm like, ooh, I like that. But I'm like, that's too stylistic. But that's always been my style. And so I lean towards that. But let's just get this image. This one's fine. This will be fine, I think. And I kind of like his proportions. So we'll go with this. So we'll save this as our desktop here. So this is for your human reference setup. Okay. So what you're going to do is I'm going to save this. We'll save it on the desktop here. We'll call this hand. Final. And it's going to take my Maya a second to think. But in Photoshop, you're going to do something like this. Okay. So you're going to open up Photoshop. And we're just going to do some basic photo editing in Photoshop really quick. You could even do it in Windows Photo Editor, really. You might not even need Photoshop to do it. But Photoshop, you can duplicate layers really quickly and make it easy. So once Photoshop opens here, we'll go through this. So I'm going to pull this in here. Let's open this up in Photoshop. I'm going to duplicate this a couple times. So 3 times. Okay. And then I'm going to take each layer individually and crop them. So we'll get a front. No, I don't want to. I guess I can just go like this. Okay, I did that wrong. here. We'll go like this. Delete this out. Second layer. We'll go here. Delete this out. Delete this out. Third layer. We'll just delete all of this out. Delete more. Okay, and then each one of these, I'm just going to export as their own PNG. So I'll go File, Export. And we'll go to the desktop again. We'll go front. Then we'll go here. We'll go back. And we'll go side. And then you're going to create a new file in Maya. So you're going to go new scene, and then you're going to go file. Sorry, not file. You're going to hit tab on your space, or not tab. Go. You're going to hit space bar. Okay. Go to your 4 view window here, and under front view, you can hit view, image plane, and then import image. And you can grab on the desktop. My Maya always takes a second to think about this. There's something wrong with my Maya install. But the next time I click on it, it should work just fine. And I'm just going to import all 3 images like this, and then you can rotate them and fix them all up. So view, image plane, import image, and then I can grab my front view, side view. So we have to do it individually. We'll go there, import image, side view, view, image plane, import image, and then we'll go back view. Okay, so now they're all sitting in here like this. And then you can just go through, take them all, and set them up in here, right? You can make them up and scale them as big as you want. In the front view, I'm going to make sure that he's lined up center, kind of like this. As much center as I can make him. Granted, he's not perfectly symmetrical, which is okay. Then I'll push that back. Here's the other thing. We should probably scale them all up at the same time, because we want them to stay the same height for each view. So let's scale them all up at once. Get it the size you want. I'm going to make it a little big, which is fine. Again, I'm going to line him up like this. So I'll push this file back. The back view, I'm just going to kind of leave over on the side a little bit for now. The side view, I'm going to push to the side though. So I'm going to take my side view angle here. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then I'm going to make sure in the side view window that he's lined up center here too. And then I'll push it back over. The back view can kind of just stay over here for a minute until we're ready to use that. I mean, the other thing you could do is with the back view, you could pull the back view in front like this. But the problem is when you do that, it blocks. So you could pull the back view like this off to the side. And then when we need it, we can go here, move this, and then peer through with X-ray view and look at the back. So you could set it up something like this, okay? And then for your assignment, all I need to see is a screenshot. I don't need a Maya file, right? I just need to see a screenshot that you've set up your reference like this, because we need this for next week when we start modeling the torso, okay? So I just want to see that you have these guys set up like this in a Maya file. all your views ready to go so that next week when we need to start modeling, you're ready to go, right? We can just jump right into modeling the torso. Okay. So that's the goal for that assignment. If you look on the Canvas page, you have your character reference that you need to turn in next week. So you've got to do that. And this assignment's super easy though. So you've got those two things to turn in. Wherever I put my, yeah, here we go. So looking here, assignments, right? So your human reference setup, which is that assignment right there, and then your character doc, which is gathering your references for your out of class character. Okay. So both of those are due next week. So that's your homework for this week. And it's not too hard. You just get those set up, as well as finishing off the hand that we did in class today. That's what you'll need to wrap up. Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any questions, hit me up on the Discord. We should be in class normal next week. No problems. Again, just unfortunate my truck was not ready when they said it was going to be ready, but that's what happens when you're getting cars fixed. So if you have anything or need anything from me, make sure you're reaching out. Please hit up your TA as well, and I will see you guys next week. Okay. See everybody. Thank you, and I will see you. Okay. Have a good one.